Good day, children. Today we are doing a quick revision of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. As you know that India is a parliamentary democracy, it means that we are having a democracy in which we are having a parliament. It means that president is the nominal head of the country and the real or the actual head is prime minister. And now the question arises, who becomes the prime minister of the country? So the majority party, like the in the general election, the party who uh, who gets the absolute majority, the leader of that party is called by the president to become prime minister. Now, what do we mean by the absolute majority? Absolute majority is like that we are having 545 seats in the Lok Sabha. It means more than 50% seat should one party get for getting the absolute majority. It means 273 seats are needed for forming the government. So if any party is getting absolute majority, the president is going to call the leader of that party to become the prime minister. And now the prime minister is going to choose the council of ministers, and he will advise the president to appoint them as a minister. Actually, the president is the nominal head. He like he is like he is having the power to appoint them, but the actual the council of ministers and the prime minister, they decide everything in the government. They are the actual body who are governing the India. Now, as I said you, the leader of the political party who has got the absolute majority in the Lok Sabha is appointed by the president as the prime minister, and like he prepare a list of the ministers, and then he give gives this list to the president to appoint them as the ministers. So what is the procedure for the prime minister is that we are having Lok Sabha. People of India elect members of the Lok Sabha. Like we are having this general election after every 5 years. Then those who are adult above 18 years of age and having the name in the electoral list, they choose their Lok Sabha member. And those the party which has got the absolute majority, the leader of that party is called by the president to become the prime minister. And the prime minister then select out of those elected members of the Lok Sabha, he chooses some members which comes under the council of ministers. A council of minister is like having three categories of the minister. First one is the cabinet ministers, then the deputy ministers, and ministers of the states. Cabinet ministers are very like 15 to 18 ministers, which are very experienced one, and they are getting the very important portfolios like finance, defense, or home ministry, that type of portfolios. Then we come to the this after cabinet we are having ministers of state. They are the ministers. They may or may not hold independent charge or portfolios. And this is the third category is the deputy minister. They are mostly assisting the cabinet minister and the state ministers for their work. Okay, so now like council, then comes the this those ministers of all ministers like council of ministers, they are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. Now question arises, what is this collective responsibility means? You know, in parliamentary form of the government, the principle of collective responsibility is very important. It means that the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the parliament. The policy of the government is not that of one minister, but all the minister. You know, it is not that if some policy fails, then only one minister will is going to be responsible for that. In the parliament, they all are responsible collectively. If something goes wrong with the policy of only one minister, the whole council of ministers takes the responsibility, and if the parliament rejects the policy of that minister, then all the ministers have to resign, and not that particular minister alone. So remember, we used to say that all ministers sink and swim together. It means they are appreciated all together for a good policy of a single minister or many ministers, or if a single minister is fail in policy making, then all will be responsible together. Now, this is if the minister like now who becomes the minister, that I said you, it depends on the prime minister totally. Prime minister is like the prime minister is given an absolute power in the formation and composition of the council of ministers, and you can say he is the keystone of cabinet arc. Why he is the keystone of the cabinet arc? Because he has the absolute power in the formation of the council of the ministers. He can make any one minister. Uh, the minister should be from the Lok Sabha, or he should be the member of Rajya Sabha. But in the case, like suppose sometimes a non-member is also appointed as the minister, but in that case he must be elected to either house of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, within 6 months from the date of the appointment. Otherwise, he will have to resign his post as a minister. Like otherwise, his appointment will become invalid if he is not elected within 6 months as a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Now, the power, so many powers are there with the prime minister, then it can be possible that prime minister misuse the power. So we in this parliamentary system, we are having a check on the prime minister. Check on the prime minister, like that. The prime minister, if prime minister is not doing his duty according to the constitution or doing something wrong, then a no confidence motion can be passed in the Lok Sabha, in the parliament, not only by the opposition but also by the member of his own party. So this is the check on the uh, prime minister. Now we come to the point that we are coming to the point about the tenure of the prime minister. So prime minister and the council of ministers are elected for 5 years, and they can enjoy their post till the enjoy their post till they are having the majority in the parliament. So if the this no confidence motion is passed and held valid, then the Prime Minister and the Council of the Minister will have to resign. They are going to resign if there's no confidence motion is passed and it becomes valid in the parliament. Okay, now the powers and the functions of the Prime Minister. Uh, you know that he constitutes the Council of the Minister and he has got the absolute authority or the power to in the formation of the Council of Ministers. Then he has also got the power to allocate work, means giving portfolios is his department. He will give the portfolios to the minister. And uh, the third one is he works as coordinator among various ministers. Like he is also a coordinator because when they make the policies, many departments are related with each other. So the coordinator who is uh, telling about what is this department is doing for making the policy, what other department is doing, that way the Prime Minister conveys all these policies. Now he is a very important link between president and council of ministers. So this is duty of the prime minister for president, that he is a link between president and council. What council of ministers are doing, the prime minister was going to report to the president about them. And prime minister is the spokesperson of the government. Whatever policies, whatever new things are coming are there in the new government, that is the prime minister who is going to speak about these things. Now he is the leader of the Lok Sabha. uh, Being the leader of the Lok Sabha, he should convey his feelings whenever he thinks he should. Like during the COVID-19, so many times the Prime Minister showed and he had spoken about his feeling about this pandemic. Okay, pandemic. Okay, now we are coming to the seventh point, that is he presides over the meeting of the cabinet. You know, this is the cabinet, he meets the cabinet uh, whenever he feels like meeting, and at least one meeting per month. So he presides over the meeting of the cabinet. And the eighth point is he can ask the erring minister, or if he is not happy with the work of any minister, or he is having a difference of opinion with that minister, then he can ask that minister to quit from the post. Now again there are, like the first I said you that he is the link between the president and the councillor, and there again one this is the power also, and this is also the duty of the prime minister, that he can like he advises the president on various appointment to important posts like judges of the Supreme Court, ambassadors, this type of post, or chairman of some very high organizations. So he advises the president for those appointments. Now, one more duty or the power, his prime minister power is there, that is, he advises the president to summon or prorogue or dissolve. Prorogue means dissolve the house, the house. So these are all the powers of the prime minister, and some of the three more, like most important powers, which are also duty against the president. Like he is having the duty for the president, that I told you already, for advising for the various appointment, for the advice for the summon or the dissolving of the house, or a reporting about the Council of Ministers. Now we are coming to that what is the difference between the Council of Ministers and Cabinet? You know, Council of Ministers means all the elected members or non-elected also, which are chosen as a part of ministry, like they are going to be minister somewhere. Like if 275, if like BJP has won 300 seats or more than that, then 300 people can't be the ministers. So out of those 300, whatever are chosen for that ministry, that are called Council of Ministers. Okay. And out of the Council of Minister, 15 or 18 elected members, which are very experienced one and having a very good rapport with the Prime Minister, they are chosen as a cabinet minister, and very important portfolios are given to those ministers, like a defense, home, finance, railways, that is there. So this is the difference between the Council of Minister and the Cabinet. And you know, Council of Ministers are having means all three types of ministers are there. Cabinet ministers are also there. Um, then the second one is state minister, that is also there, and the deputy ministers are there. And out of those, only the cabinet one are those which are very experienced one, and the that is having the important portfolios. And the second difference is that the prime minister may or may not be consult uh, consulted by consult these ministers, that is the state ministers, or deputy ministers are only for the assistant. So they it is not like uh, it is not compulsory for the or mandatory for the prime minister to consult them, but this cabinet ministers who are responsible for making the policies, the prime minister always, they are always consulted by the prime minister, or the prime minister gives prime minister gives his suggestions to them. Now for the other minister, like minister of state and the deputy minister, they rarely meet the prime minister. If needed, they can be asked to meet, otherwise no. But for making the policy, cabinet ministers are there, and you know, their work is for making the policy, so it is very important for them to meet frequently with the prime minister. The prime minister frequently meets the cabinet minister. Now, coming to the powers and functions of the cabinet, as you know, policy making is the first one. They make the policy, and after that, all the like policy making is very important, but you know, they make the policy in the guidance of the prime minister. And you know, appointments like all the appointments of the governors of the state, judges of the Supreme Court, and chief election commissioner, uh, though they are made by the president, but with the consultants of the cabinet ministers. Then introduction of bill. You know, for making any law, first they have to introduce the bill. So whatever bill is introduced in the parliament, that is done by the cabinet minister, that is the cabinet ministers. And now, if any amendments to the constitution is there, Then it is the cabinet that plans. First, they plans it with the guidance of the prime minister, or they consult with the prime minister, and after that, that moves regarding any constitutional amendment bill will move in the parliament. Now, president's address. Now, the cabinet prepares the president's address to the parliament. This is the work of the cabinet, to prepare the president's address to the parliament. Now, budget is the other one. The finance minister from the cabinet prepares the annual budget containing the estimate of the income and expenditure of the ensuing year, and the budget is changes are no changes can be made in the budget against the wishes of the cabinet. Means you can't, nobody can make any change without the consultation or the wishes of the cabinet. And now, as you know, declaring emergency, that power is with the president, but president can't declare any emergency without a written approval of the cabinet. So these are the powers of the cabinet. And when we have already talked about the collective responsibility of the this Council of Ministers, but you know, individually also they are responsible. Sometimes it is asked how they are individually responsible. Individually responsible means that the ministers are individually responsible to the president. On paper they are responsible to the president. They hold the office during the pleasure of the president and may be dismissed by him, but they are dismissed only when the prime minister says to dismiss them. So it means they are individually responsible for their work, the work of their department, to the directly they are responsible to the president, but indirectly they are responsible to the prime minister. Like if the prime minister is not happy with their work, they will be dismissed by the president on the advice of the prime minister. So each minister is answerable to the parliament for the department under his control. Whatever work he is doing, so he or she is answerable to the parliament. Like in the parliament, question can be asked regarding his work or the work of the department. So this way we say that every minister is individually responsible. Now we are coming to the last question, that is a last topic, that is the coalition government. The coalition government is like when if no party is able to gain an absolute majority in an election, then different parties join hands to form a coalition government. In September 1999, this NDA formed the government, and that is a National Democratic Alliance. And even this 2014, Shri Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India as the head of the coalition government of NDA. Still, we are having the coalition government of NDA. Though the BJP is having absolute majority, but the party is NDA. So this is the all about the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, and this way you revise it properly, and if you have any problem you can ask me personally.